And so, look, I think when it comes down to it, that's Liz Cheney's, what she is being removed for is making it uncomfortable and being consistent. And God bless her for having the consistency to tell the truth, because history, I'm going to tell you in the long term, is going to write very well about her. And people are going to have to stand up and do the right thing. The last thing I'll say is this, is the one person continually bringing all this back up is not Liz Cheney, it's Donald Trump. Donald Trump was out of power after January 6th. And then Kevin McCarthy went down, probably with Scalise, and put the paddles on him and resurrected him politically back to life. And then he's the one that tweets something yesterday about horse doping. And then, all this weird stuff, I didn't tweet anymore, I guess, sends out a press release. He's the one that keeps talking about the big lie, the stolen election. He's the one that isn't unifying. But of course, he's out of power. He's a loser, but he's the one that a lot of people fear.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering also why you sort of think that is. I mean, there was looking at a poll the other day by Reuters and Ipsos that showed that 81% of Republicans still view President Trump favorably. And I know that obviously there have been many other polls showing his prominence within your party. I mean, at the end of the day, lawmakers to a certain extent are responding to their constituents. Why do you think are so many constituents still very loyal to Trump?
It's like it's a delicate dance. So on the one hand, we as lawmakers respond to our constituents, but we also have to lead. Otherwise, if you're literally just chasing public opinion and public opinion is following leaders who are chasing public opinion, you're literally a dog chasing your tail, and you end up out in traffic. To some extent, you can still kind of look at your tail and kind of wonder where it's at, but you still have to, walk your body to certain places. And that's the role of leadership. And I think part of the reason is, first off, you see within those numbers of republicanism, there is a softening of hardcore support, and there's a bit of a shift in terms of people that support the party over Donald Trump. But a couple things. Number one, it's just going to take some time. I think it took, a number of years for Donald Trump to get this hold. It'll take a number of years for him to lose hold like this. But the other thing is because leaders aren't telling people the truth. They're just not standing in front and saying, look, ladies and gentlemen, the Republican Party existed before Trump and it'll exist after Trump. We have great candidates that can be president. It doesn't have to be Trump. I had a very revealing thing in Vegas. So I was there with the military, and my wife and I were standing, outside of a bar, probably at 2:00. We were off for the day. And, but somebody came up to me and she recognized me and her husband. And she said, well, this was right after the election. And she's like, gee, I hope Trump wins. And I go, well, he obviously lost. And she goes, well, at least he'll run in 2024. And I said, no, he won't. She goes, well, then at least Don Jr. will. And I go, well, no, Don Jr. is not going to run in 2024. And she was just, what? Then how are we ever going to win again? And I think it's important for Republicans to remind their constituents that we won before Trump. And Trump actually is the reason that we lost the House, the Senate, and the presidency. We'll win again. And but I think that's part of the reason. But, look, at the end of the day, too, I just don't know. I know I can fight hard for the soul of the party. I know it's important for us to hear the voice of those that basically supported Trump because they felt left behind. But instead of inspiring them with fear, we need to inspire them with optimism. But ultimately, that decision will be made, and I'm just one part of that, and we'll see what happens.